The 80s was full of highs and lows in the gaming industry, one of the shining lights of which would have to be when Nintendo released this toy to the consumer masses. Note that I use the word toy here as Nintendo marketed their entertainment system as such in the early days, as they didn't want to make retailers remember the market that 2 years previously crashed and burned hard. So they went to extreme measures to change their look at the console, the games, and the controllers to better suit whatever the standard for a toy was. But of course, us keen-eyed consumers knew this was a gaming device, but Nintendo did their best to try and hide that fact for a bit, and they did well with having Rob the Robot as well as this along with it. This is the NES Zapper, a light gun accessory for the Nintendo Entertainment System. Now I'm sure some longtime viewers know that we've been here before, as the Zapper was the very first AC review I did on the channel. But that was the orange version and the second version at that. What I have here is the first iteration, CIB, in all its gray glory. It's not every day you get to find one of these in its box. Anything Nintendo complete is hard and potentially pricey to come by. But I'd say this was $20 well spent, as we can see the incredibly accurate light sensing video gun, or simply Zapper, doing its stuff by shooting some ducks. Truly a whole different caliber of excitement. It may be lazy to get your script from the box, but that is what I'm working with here. But those words speak the truth from my experience. The flaps don't have much other than this one with the barcode or other info like a warranty card. Oh god, I hope I have that just in case this doesn't go well. But I'm sure it'll be fine as we find a motherless family having a blast with it, probably playing one of the great black box games being shown alongside. That got me excited to start shooting some pixels. So let's get the Zapper out of its box, shall we? But first things first, we have a manual to look at. Not only do we have the box, but also the instruction manual, which in itself could be tougher to find. It has what you would expect, like telling you how to hook it up to the NES and how it works. Plus it has a few notes on how to take care of it, or in the worst case scenario, what to do if it isn't working properly. Thank God for that 90-day warranty. I believe I'm on the 89th day, and some people say I put things off to the last minute. I also like the order form at the end here. Wish I could get some of these Rob parts for those prices. I still need to find a Rob too. But we're not here for the robotic operating buddy. We're here for what's enclosed in the styrofoam. This gray Zapper from all the way back in 1985. Now I'm sure you've been wondering since the start of this video, why was the Zapper color changed to orange? Well, it had to do with the simple things like the fear of kids using it to play outside in front of police, not to mention the hysteria of toy guns looking too real like with those Intertech water guns. Although you could argue this looks more futuristic and not that realistic, in any case the Zapper wasn't immune to upcoming US laws, and Nintendo quickly made the shift to orange, which would become as iconic as the system it belonged to. But I would argue that there are still some benefits to the gray Zapper. For example, it still makes that satisfying trigger noise. Music to my ears. Let's look at the physical comparisons between the two Zappers real quick. The obvious one I've been pointing out is the color. The orange one pops out over the gray, but the gray still has that unique look. I'd say it can hold its own. The other color difference is that of the trigger, with the gray having a Nintendo reddish tint while the orange has a simple black. While it works for it, I think the gray gets some points for better indication on what needs to be compressed. But that's where the similarities end, as they have the same shape, same screws, same logos, but neither of them take away from the other, as they should work the same way and work just fine. However, that does remain to be seen on mine, so let's hurry up and plug this in and get to playing. To my relief, this Zapper works fantastically with the games it plays, and there's plenty to go around. This was Nintendo's secondary controller for the NES, so I would hope for such. you'd be able to play the great black box classics as well as some of the other great or not so great titles, but I'm sure when you grasp the Zapper in your hands and start shooting ducks, flying saucers, or pixelated people, you'll have a fun time regardless of what you're playing. I doubt you'd be able to do anything harmful with this, at least not to the extent of that Fjords music video. Anyone remember that? Surprised it's not being used as a violent video games ad by the government. Regardless of that, the gray Zapper is an interesting footnote of the staple gaming accessory or controller that went on to define Nintendo's entertainment system. You'll definitely need to grab a Zapper in general when you get an NES, but if you're able to find the gray version, good on you. Double the points if you find it in its box with a manual, but no matter the condition, you won't be able to use that warranty because it's outdated, you fools. You know, if all Nintendo had to do was a simple color change to avoid controversy, imagine the outrage if they brought the Famicom beam gun shaped like a pistol for wild gunmen mainly. That would have been a disaster in the making, although it still wasn't a problem, even with the older Pong consoles of the day. They weren't kidding around when going over this gray area. Got any fond memories with this controller/accessory? Tell me about it by leaving a comment. If you like what you see, be sure to leave a like. If you think others would like this, share the video around. And if you want to see more, hit that subscribe button pronto. This is BrianTheBlue, and I'll see you later.